Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second episode in my series on entrepreneurship. If you are new to my channel, my name is Tamar. I am the CEO of Tamar Thomas Consultancy, and what I do is that I help parents or individuals who are looking to start an online business. I help you to do so with a proven system and a community and training that helps you to get ahead of the curve. So tonight I will be sharing my second episode in the series that started last week on entrepreneurship. And this evening I will give you a little more time to join, and before I begin with the presentation, and I just want to invite you to interact and to like my live so that more people can join and that more people can benefit, because the information that I'll be sharing with you this evening is valuable and it will help others to enhance their lives and to move forward in their dream of becoming an entrepreneur, whether it is online or physical business. The tips that I'll be sharing this evening will be beneficial, and you can use them in your life and to help you to jumpstart your entrepreneur journey. So go ahead and like this live and share it with your friends so that they can join and come on board and hear what I have to say. So thank you and welcome. Welcome Philip, welcome Sylvan, welcome Funny Nanny, welcome to my live. So I am streaming right now on both Facebook and TikTok. So I'm using two different devices. So if you see my head turn a little bit, I'm just trying to give everybody my attention so nobody feels left out. So all right, so I'm gonna give some more people like until 2 more minutes to join before I start the official presentation. So tonight I'm just here to share with you. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm just here to share with you some insights on how you can go about starting your business and the steps that you can take to jumpstart your entrepreneur journey. Becoming an entrepreneur, it's not hard. And just to recap what I shared last week, it's pretty much identifying a pain point, something that people complain about and something that people are willing to spend money on to get rid of that pain point or that problem, and find a way how you can solve the problem. And that's pretty much what entrepreneurship is. It's you identifying a problem that others have and that they find annoying, that they complain about on a regularly basis, and then finding a way that you can solve that problem. And those of you who are here last week, I gave some homework and you were supposed to write your problem statement. And it was basically you identifying what you will be helping others to solve. So it would go something like that. I help say, so my statement is, I help busy parents to create an online income so that they don't have to choose between their children and earning a living. And I know that because I experience it too. I'm a mother of a special needs child, and oftentimes, my daughter needs to go to a therapy, or she needs to go to some event, and I have to choose between going to work or taking my daughter to therapy. And that's something that I know a lot of parents in the world struggle with today. And I am here to tell you that you can find a better way, because where the world is going right now, there are so many different avenues to earn a living, whether it be online or in person. There's always something that you can do. And once you have a skill or something that you believe that people are paying to money to solve, a problem that people are paying money to solve, then you can get in on the game. And it's not about coming up with something that nobody else has done before. It's about finding your little loophole, your little niche in the market. Just finding something that you know is being paid for already, and then putting your spin on it and presenting it to the market, and people will buy it. So we're 6 minutes in, so I am going to go ahead and start the presentation. And this evening's presentation is entitled Pain First Entrepreneurship. And it's your idea is not the point, the customer's pain is the point. So that's what I was talking about earlier, is you identifying the pain point, the pain that people are experiencing. So if it is, for example, they need help with, for example, growing their lawn, just for example, and you are a landscaper, or you know about plants and how to get grass to grow, you can just present that idea, and all of a sudden there you have a business. So it's identifying a pain point that people are struggling with and coming up with the solution. So the principle behind pain first entrepreneurship is that you have to remember one thing. If you remember one thing, make it this: your idea is not the point, the customer's pain is the point. So stop looking to polish your ideas and waiting until you have the perfect idea to launch. Stop you know naming things that you think might be profitable. Just go out there, do your research, right? Follow the proof, follow the money. Do your research and see what people are spending millions on every year, and find a way, a loophole in that industry, in that market, that you can, market yourself. And the filter. So when you're identifying a pain point, I'm going to give you a little filter to put it through, and run every idea through pain, proof, position, and path. So let me explain a little bit more. The pain. It's a recurring problem that costs people time, money, or peace. And time, money, or peace are things that nobody wants to lose, right? It is something that people will pay top dollar to protect their time, or to save or earn money, or to protect their peace. Those are things that are valuable to everybody. It's valuable to me. I'm pretty sure your time and your money and your peace is valuable to you. So if you see a problem that is costing people money, that is costing them their time, or taking away from time that they want to spend doing something enjoyable, and if it's costing them peace, then you have an in right there. If your idea fails this filter, the pain filter, then it's not ready, right? Proof. So evidence money is already moving to solve the problem. So if you identify this recurring problem, and there are people that are already spending money on that problem, then you have a market right there. People spending money already, if they spend it with one person, they will spend it with you, because guess what? At the end of the day, people are not too peculiar about who they spend their money with. As long as their problem is being solved, they will spend their money. So that's proof right there. And then position. Outcome, language that is instantly understood. So it's about how you present your offer or whatever you're trying to whatever you're trying to solve. It's about how you present it. So when you present it, it must be easily understood. People should not have to burst their brains or think too hard to understand what you're selling or what you're trying to solve. It should be easy to understand, right? And then path, a simple sequence to deliver results in 7 to 30 days. So whatever it is, whatever problem you're trying to solve, the pathway that you choose should be simple enough that in 7 to 30 days, people can see results. Because nobody wants to sit around going through a process or a program for 3, 4, 5 months without seeing any results, right? So if you are marketing a product, or if you say to somebody, I can solve your problem, that person wants to know that you will solve their problem as quickly as possible. So within a week, or at the most a month, you should be able to solve the problem that you are promising to solve, right? If you're finding value from what I'm saying, drop like my live so that others can join and gain from this as well. Pain, right? The problem has to be real. It has to be recurring. So something that comes up constantly, and it has to be costly, right? So you have to, when you identify your problem, it has to be something that people it's frequent, so it happens often enough so that once you market it, you know that you will have people coming constantly to buy your product, whatever the product or service is. So it has to show up weekly, not yearly. So you're not going to want to sell something that people will buy once a year, or you're only going to get a customer once a year. It has to be weekly or daily, so that you know that your market will constantly be growing, right? It has to be expensive, so it costs money. It doesn't mean that you're going to sell it expensive. It means that if the person who has the problem does not buy your product or your service, it's going to cost them dearly, right? So, for example, you're a mechanic and somebody's car is leaking oil, right? And they decide not to come and fix the problem. So it's going to constantly cost them money, because they probably will have to put oil in their car every day. But if they come to you, you'll fix the problem and it will save them money. That's just a simple example that I'm pretty sure everyone can relate to, right? And having to go and buy oil every day and replace the oil, it will not just cost them money, it will cost them time, and it will cost them peace, because nobody wants a car that is breaking down every day or that they have to be putting oil in every day, right? So that's just a simple example. And it's something that has to be talked about, right? People should constantly be complaining or telling their friends, oh, I'm tired of this, I'm tired of doing this every day, I wish there was a solution to my problem, right? And once that pain point is there, once it's frequent, it's expensive, and it's talked about, then you have a product, a problem that you can solve, and people are going to come, right? So here I have one question for you. What do you see people complain about every week? Drop it in the comments, and let me see what your ideas are. What do you see people complain about every week? Number 2P, proof. Do not guess. Follow where money already goes, right? So I'm telling you, don't go and reinvent the wheel, right? Competitors get paid. People buy substitutes, and people hire help informally. The same question repeats. Who do you use, right? So to break it down, as I used in the last live, you have so many different brands of shoes, and people buy them all. They're all shoes, right? But people buy based on their preference, based on comfort level, based on price, based on what their friends are wearing or what their friend told them that is good, right? So competitors get paid. There might be somebody else doing what you want to do, but you might come and you might put a different approach on it, or you might do it better, and all of a sudden you are getting all of those clients, right? So you don't have to find something new. You just have to find something that you can do well and present well and do it quickly so that you can get customers referring you and coming back repeatedly. And people will buy substitutes, right? For example, Nike is one of the most popular sneakers, but right now their sales are down because you have other substitutes. You have Hoka who's taking over, you have Adidas who's a competitor, you have so many different other competitors out there, and they all get paid, right? People will buy substitutes because not everybody can afford a $200 Jordans or something like that. Everybody wants to wear sneakers, so they will buy the one they can afford, or they will buy the one that their friends tell them is good, right? If you're finding value, please like and share. And those who are just joining, welcome. It's glad to see you. So people hire help informally. So what that means is they're not just going to go for the first brand name or for the first person that pops up on Google. They will ask their friends, who do you use, right? Their friends or their colleague or their neighbor will say, I went to this person's business and they do good business and they provide good service. And all of a sudden you have customers coming to you that you didn't even advertise for, right? So if there is no proof, it is a hobby. It's not a business. So if nobody is buying it or paying for it, then it doesn't make sense you go out there and waste your time, because you could spend so much money doing marketing. If there's not an audience for it, it will not succeed. Next, position. Customers buy outcomes, not your process, right? They don't care pretty much how you do it. They just want to know that you're solving their problems. So for a simple positioning statement, for you to say, for your positioning statement would say, for who with pain I deliver results in time without risk or frustration. So for example, you would say, for single mothers struggling to raise their children, I will help you start a business in 1 week without risk or frustration. That's just an example of a positioning statement, for example, right? So your position statement must be clear and it must be time bound, right? I don't know, some of you that know about goal setting, they tell you to use the SMART acronym. So it must be specific, it must be measurable, it must be what does A stand for again? I don't even remember. It must be measurable and it must be time bound, right? So your positioning statement should be specific to who you are targeting, what pain or problem you're trying to solve, what result you will deliver, and in what time frame, and without frustration or risk, because nobody wants to be frustrated by your processes. They just want to come and know that you're going to solve their problem so that they can move on with their lives, right? So the outcome has to be specific, the person you're targeting, right? So if you're targeting mothers or fathers or working parents or whoever, it has to be specific. You cannot target the whole world because you're just starting out, for example. So you pick a small group and you market to that group, and as you grow, you can widen your audience, right? And you have to be clear about what was there before and what it will look like afterwards, right? So that is the position. Now we're going to look at the path, right? Start with results you can deliver in 7 to 30 days. So when you're starting as an entrepreneur, you want to start simple and you want to start with something that you can deliver in as short a time as possible. Because when you're starting out, you're new and you want to gain people's trust. To gain their trust, if you promise to solve their problem, you have to do it in as quick a time as possible before they move on and become frustrated, right? So, so here's a simple 7 to 30 day path example. Day 1 to 3, you diagnose the problem. What is breaking, where, and why, right? In week 1, you deliver the first visible win, right? So you show the person, okay, so I've identified your problem. This is what I can do in the first week, right? In week 2, you install a simple system, something that will prolong the result, that will prevent the pain from or the problem from recurring. And then 3 to 4, you measure your results or your outcome, you refine it, and you hand it over, right? So in the first week, you're diagnosing the problem and you are delivering the first win. So you provide immediate relief. And then in week 2, if it's a service, or you can work with the person to install a simple system. And in week 3 to 4, you measure the outcome and you refine it and you make sure it is solid before you move on and hand it over to the client. So that's just a simple pathway, right? Start small, clear, have finishable wins that build proof fast. Because when you do that, then you will get the referrals and you will get people coming to you from word of mouth. So for those who are here and you are females, you might be familiar with the name Sara Blakely. She is the founder of Spanx, and what Spanx is a shapewear. And I'm just telling you, she started with a wardrobe pain, right? Not a perfect idea. So her pain was she wanted a smooth look under her clothes. She didn't want to have the wrinkles and the rolls that some of us as females have, and we are frustrated with. She didn't want that. She wanted her clothes, like she put on a straight dress, she wanted it to look smooth, but she hated the look of pantyhose with open toe shoes. Because right now, some of us, if we see a female wearing pantyhose with sandals or open toe shoes, we might find it tacky or we might laugh, right? She didn't want that. So her first prototype of the Spanx was she cut the feet off her pantyhose to test the result. And that was her first win, right? That's the first thing that she tested. So the principle is that pain first. She had the pain. She didn't want those wrinkles under her clothes. She came up with a prototype. So she found something that already existed. Remember, I told you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can take something that is already there and you can adapt it to meet your own needs, right? So she took a pantyhose and she cut off the legs, and then she used it as a Spanx, the first prototype of the Spanx, and then as she went along, she adapted it to make it more of her own, and she developed the Spanx brand, and now she is a very successful entrepreneur, right? So that is just one case study of how people identify a pain, take a product, or identify a product that people are already paying, because a lot of people buy pantyhose, a lot of women buy pantyhose on a regular basis. And that was something, it was already proof that people are willing to spend money for this item. So she took that item and she adapted it into something unique to her and to solve the problem that she and other women were already complaining about. And she's a successful entrepreneur today. So that's just one example of how you can use the pain, the proof, the position, and the path method to launch your to to launch your product and to become successful as an entrepreneur, right? I really thank you guys for being with me this evening. You have been very, very engaging. You've been keeping me company, and we're well on our way. I'm almost done. Right? So what Sarah did, she made the benefit obvious, then she followed proof, right? So shapewear and hosiery, that's a proof, were already being bought. As I said before, money was already moving. So she identified the pain in the first instance. She wanted a smooth look under her dress, and then she identified the proof. People were already paying money for hosiery and shapewear, right? Positioning. She described the outcome in plain language, then demonstrated the benefit in person, right? So she did her campaign and she said, this is what I've created, this is the problem that it will solve, and she demonstrated it in easy language that people could understand. And the takeaway is that you have to pick a pain people already pay to stop. As I've said before, right? Make the benefit obvious in 10 seconds. Do not hide behind unique. If you're sitting down waiting for a novel idea, remember, you've been in this world, we've been in this world for millions of years. Right now, coming up with a novel idea is almost impossible. So you have to find something that is already out there and adapt it, put your own touch on it, and sell it to people who are already paying for products in that area. All right. So as we wrap up, let us, I'm going to give you a little homework again. So before I give you your homework, if you have any questions or comments, could you drop them in the comment section right now? And I'll be happy to answer them for you. And thank you for those who are sharing the love, for helping me, more people to join the live. Thank you very much. Please drop your comments or your questions in the comment section, and I will be happy to answer them for you. Let's see. Right, so tonight I am going to, the homework will be, I want you to list 10 pain points you see repeatedly. So remember, we're building a business now, so we have to identify areas that we can build on. So tonight, last week I asked you to write your purpose statement, who you're going to solve and how. So tonight you're going to identify the pain points, because this is the real starting point of a business. You have to identify the pain point. So I'm going to ask you to list 10. So list 10 pains you see repeatedly, things that people live with every day. And thank you for your message, because send me a private message and I will answer your question. I see your comment here. How do you start the online business? Send me a message. Drop me a message in a DM, and I will answer you privately. This is an informational session, and I'm here just to give you the information you need to start wide. And if you want me to be your mentor, then send me a DM and I will connect with you there. Right. So as I was saying, I want you to list 10 pains you see people living with daily, right? And I want you to circle the top one using the filter that we went over before, right? And just to reiterate what that filter is, the top one is, it must be frequent. It must be a pain point that people live with or complain about frequently, right? It must be expensive. It must be costing them time, money, stress, right? So you're looking at the pain points that you just wrote down, 10 of them. You wrote down 10 pain points, right? How frequent is this pain point happening, or people are complaining about this pain point? How expensive is it? Is it costing them money, time, and stress? And how proven is it? Are people already paying to have that problem being solved? So is money already moving in that industry or for that to solve that pain point, right? And then is it finishable? So can you deliver results to solve this problem within 7 to 30 days, right? So that is your homework for this week. And remember, we're building. So I want you to get a notepad or a book, and you're going to build each week, because this is a 14-week series. So I'm going to be here every Monday night going forward, from at 7 p.m. So if you join me here tonight, join me again next week, same time, same place, right? And I want you to get a notebook, and each week we'll be building. At the end of this series, you should have a plan, right, of how to start your online business or your physical business, whatever it is that you want to do, right? So last week we did the purpose statement, where you identified who you're going to help with what, right? And this week we're identifying the problem that you're going to solve. So remember, the homework for this week, you're going to list 10 pain points that you see happening around you or you hear people complaining about repeatedly. You're going to circle the top one using the filter. And the filter is, how frequent do you hear about this pain point, or do you see this pain point happening? How expensive is it? Which means, how much money is it costing people? How much time? How much stress, right? And then, is it a proven method? Are people already paying to get rid of this problem, right? And then the fourth filter is it finishable? Can you deliver results or outcome within 7 to 30 days, right? So that's your homework for this week. And remember, if ideas are cheap, pain solved is valuable. So you can have all the ideas in the world. If they are not solving a pain point, then it's not valuable. So tonight, I just want to extend my gratitude to you again for staying with me for the half an hour. I know your time is valuable, so I'm not going to keep you any longer. If you want to know more, or if you want me to mentor you, then please feel free to DM me. If you have any questions about what I presented here tonight, or if you want the PowerPoint, because I do have a PowerPoint of what I presented here tonight, feel free to send me a DM and I will send it to you. And we can move forward from there. And feel free, and I would like it if you like and followed my page. And I will see you again next week, same time, same place, 7 p.m. here on TikTok and on Facebook Live. Have a good evening, everyone. God bless. Bye.